Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Life for Living Well. My name is Richard, and I'm broadcasting today for Life for Living Well. The, the topic of this video today is something that I've been observing and something that I've been wanted to make a video about because I'm getting some conversation with people that I'm meeting in my journey. And the topic is, how do you achieve inner peace? Or should I put it this way, how to achieve inner peace? I'm not pretending that I'm the expert in this particular topic, but I just would like to give you just 6 tips you may follow, and it may actually help you to be a little bit more grounded and stable in your own personal life. Why do we need inner peace now, especially in our own current generation at this moment? There's a lot of people that they appear as if they have everything together. They are doing well with their jobs, but there's so many dependency that making them function regularly. Some of them could be over dependent on alcohol or over dependent on drugs. Some of them over depend on groups of people that actually keep them going. And all these substances is still outside of them. And it's just a matter of time before they crashed. So if you are watching this video today and you wanted to know how to maintain inner peace, this particular topic is not an easy thing to deal with because the example of people we tend to see that they don't see to be waving about the challenges of life, because to be honest, the life is challenging, it's demanding, it's beautiful, and it's like a swing when you go up and you also come down. Most people, when it come down, that is the most stressful time in their life. And we tend to see people that dedicated themselves to certain way of life, either with spiritualism or philosophy, or giving themselves for the highest goal of serving another human being. These people tend to isolate themselves from the mainstream society. But in reality, 99% of people, we have a contact with at least one person in their daily engagement. And the people that you meet, they don't actually write it in front of their head that be aware, or I need a help, or I don't need it to talk to. So their emotion could trigger your own reaction when you are not in charge of your own inner feelings. So let's get started. I think I've make a little enough introduction of the video title. Number one that you should consider if you want to develop inner peace is to know yourself. There is a great Chinese philosopher that said, to win any battle, know yourself. So it's to know yourself, and there's no shortcut of it. So once you understand a lot how your own internal feelings doing, you will have less compulsive to wanted to control outside of you. Most controlling people, not everybody, but most controlling people, what they're actually trying to do outside to control other people is a reflection of how they feel about themselves inside. They try so much to not feel anxious and worried. So they tend to control everything within their cycle, including people, including material things, in order to have an advantage or to keep their emotion in check. And also, you see people using uh, jealousy or possessiveness as a coping or defense mechanism because of their internal tumor, what they're going through internal of them, and they have no idea how to handle that better than projecting it different way of mechanism, which is also toxic to people that they're trying to show that they actually love. So that's number one. Number one, know yourself. So to win any battle, you need to know yourself. The more peaceful you feel inside, the less need you need to control outside of you. You are able to know what environment is healthy for you, what environment is not healthy for you. You're able to know your strength and your limit. So number two, I want you to listen to this one. If we look around you, there are people that in 1,000 years time or even in 100 years time, so many people you won't know anything about them again. That's why the fact of how much material they accumulate. But there are men and women that we read about, and the only thing we're still reading about them is how they live their life and how they impact their own generation and generation that come after them. So I'm not pretending, suggesting that you alone could change the world. But what you can do, you can reduce the pain in the world by become a more sensible human being, a more better human being or better person as an individual. At the end, you help the world. So what I'm trying to suggest to you as number two to consider is to develop a character, and your character will shape how you relate to other people and you relate to how you present yourself. So rather than having a mask or image, it is better to look for a virtue that you can work on, you can choose, and begin to do exercise attribute or trait that attach to this uh, character. Take, for example, honesty. And if you decided to build an honesty as part of your character, you no longer able to hiding away from truth. So when people invite you for an occasion and you say yes, for some reason you couldn't do it, you flake out, and you have some reputation that people tend to not trusting what you say and what you do, because what you say and what you do is not compatible. So, but when you begin to take honesty as your core virtue, you begin to hold yourself accountable and also not looking for an excuse to get away from improper behavior. So, this could give you a peace of mind because you know that you are not a victim, you are responsible for the choices that you made, and you are able to stand up for it. So, number three, this is can be a little bit controversial because I'm a little bit conscious not to be preaching about this video. I wanted to suggest that you should consider spiritualism and philosophy. And I'm not going to recommend any particular philosophy that you should follow here. So it's your own choice. You could decide which one suits you. One of the greatest things I've happened in my life is open myself to spiritualism and philosophy. It make me realize that there is a lot of things I'm not in control of it. But and it also opened my eyes, give me understanding to pay attention to my own feelings, my own need, and pay attention more to my intuition, and able to take face up, take look for a courage and face the any situation that within my own power that I can change, either my behavior, either my expectation, either my attitude to an event. So I have absolutely control and power how I react to it. I used to think like only if I meditate for an hour, that is when I meditate. And after 10 minutes, I give up. But one day I have the opportunity to watch this in real life in Japan. And I will see people going to work and they will stop in front of the temple and they will just bow their head and meditate for 1 minute. And I thought to myself, how could you meditate for 1 minute? So then I engaging with local people, told them what I've observed in my day house. And they told me that actually they do that 1 minute and every 1 hour they take 1 minute out and they just do. And by the time you finish a day, you may end up having 10 minutes, 30 minutes, depends how much time you can spare to do it. So I'm saying to you, if you decide to do meditation, Don't be discouraged that you have to spend 30 minutes, 1 hour to do it. You can just do 1 minute. Hold your breath and just observe your thoughts. So I've done this many times with my friends sometimes. I call it space game. That that for 3 minutes we don't talk to each other. And after 3 minutes, I ask them how many thoughts travel your mind, just to see how conscious we can be. So I'm suggesting to you that if you haven't take consider spiritualism, you should try and give it a go. And you don't have to actually meditate, because most people these days can't even sit down, sit still for 10 minutes. So they need things to distract them, either TV, either games, either other people, or getting involved with other people's drama. So these are the things that take them away from themselves. But what I'm suggesting to you, that you don't actually need to meditate. You could practice your own spiritualism by dancing. So the things that make you in touch with your body, make you in touch with your feelings, make you in touch with your mind, rather than just lost in your mind and overthinking of your situation. Because people tend to focus on what happened in the past and what may happen in the future or may not, and mixing out in the moment. So that take me to number four. Number four, if you haven't done this, we suggest try to walk in the nature. If you have opportunity to be close to the nature, walk in the nature and just watch, no judge. Just watch and just walk in the nature regularly. And what this will teach you is to learn how to be soft like a lead. And because when you are rigid, you are more subject to a force stronger and higher than you to uprooted you from the root, and they cost you a lot of massive pain in your life. So you tend to overreacting because you won't know how to deal with it. If you lose the loved one or the people that you depend on disappear in your life, it can just the ground can just shallow you, because you are so condition yourself to certain outcome in life, and you are so pointing your life into certain result in life. So what I'm trying to suggest to you is that learn to be soft like lead and water. Water can fit into anything. When you are like this, you already have an advantage in life, because there's so many things that you have no control about. What people think about you, how people see you, and what the life throws to you. So that's number four. So number five, and this is preach all the time, and everybody have a different way of approaching this. Don't feel guilty of taking care of yourself. Learn how to accommodate self-compassion, self-loving, and self-acceptance. The most thing I've seen with few people that I do talk to when they share their own problem is extreme lack of self-acceptance. They're overcritical of themselves. They're afraid of making mistake. They're afraid of failure. And every time they make a mistake, they judge themselves that their whole character is based on failure, which is not true. Which is not true. And I going to make another video how I can show you how practical way you can show self-compassion to yourself and self-love and self-acceptance. And that takes me to the last bit of the steps that I'm giving you, which is number 6. I don't know which part of the world you're watching this video, but if you travel regularly in London and you use underground, it will be a time, if you pay attention to the public address system, you tend to say mind the gap. And my interpretation of using that word, because I'm using as a throw in as one of the points, is you don't have any choice. You need to know your space. You need to create space for yourself and other people. In fact, you have to do it regularly as a healthy check. You needed to take a step back and observe yourself as if you're watching film, to actually see how you can improve your own life and realize that your habit has not become toxic for you and toxic for people that you spend most of your time with. So because if you don't do that, you are sending yourself up to be taken advantage of, and also losing your energy with people that have a lot of issue in their own life, but they don't really know, but you think that you are close because they share a lot of trauma story with you, and your connection is based on trauma. So what I'm trying to say to you that you needed to protect your own space. You need to find a space that you can just be for you alone, and then you'll be happy to share time with the people that the loved one in your life. So I hope this message helps someone today. And if you want to write us in Life for Living Well, I am really happy to receive your message on your question, and I'm also happy to answer it back to you. And thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have an amazing week. Take care. Thank you.